Real estate has always been one of the most proven, respected, and trusted paths to wealth creation across generations. It is a field where ordinary individuals have transformed modest incomes into long-term financial stability, passive income streams, and lasting wealth. Yet for many beginners, real estate feels intimidating. It feels complicated, expensive, or exclusive. But the truth is simpler. Real estate is not reserved for the wealthy. It is one of the few investment categories designed to help you become wealthy step by step. Before anyone buys their first property, they must understand what real estate truly represents. It is not just land or buildings. It is a financial system, a wealth vehicle, a leverage tool, and most importantly, a strategy rooted in patience, knowledge, and disciplined execution. Real estate rewards those who think long-term, who approach decisions with data instead of emotion, and who seek stability rather than quick wins. It is not a gamble. It is a structured, predictable, and scalable approach to wealth. For a beginner, the first step is understanding the core idea. Every property produces value in two main ways, through cash flow and through appreciation. Cash flow is the money left after a tenant pays rent and you subtract expenses. Appreciation is the long-term growth in property value driven by demand, location improvements, and market cycles. Many new investors misunderstand this and chase properties based only on price or assumptions. The experienced investor evaluates both cash flow and potential appreciation, knowing that real estate performs best when both elements work together. Another important idea is that you do not need to start with a massive property. Many successful investors built their portfolios by starting with something small, a single apartment, a duplex, or a modest home. The goal is not perfection, the goal is entry. The property you start with is rarely the property that makes you wealthy. It is the property that teaches you the fundamentals, builds your confidence, and opens the door to future opportunities. As a beginner, research becomes your greatest weapon. Real estate rewards informed decisions. It punishes assumptions. Market research helps you understand economic trends, population growth, job markets, rental demand, government policies, and development plans. You learn to look at neighborhoods the way investors do. Which areas are growing, which areas are declining, which areas are stable, and which are undervalued. Real estate is as much about reading the market as it is about buying a property. Financing is another pillar beginners must understand. Real estate is one of the only investments where you can use other people's money, legally, responsibly, and profitably. Banks offer mortgages because real estate is considered secure, stable, and tangible. This means a beginner can control a large asset with a relatively small down payment. This is the power of leverage, using borrowed money to increase the potential return on investment. But leverage must be used wisely. Too much debt without cash flow can turn an asset into a burden, while the right debt structure can make a property pay for itself. One of the greatest advantages real estate offers is passive income. When executed correctly, each month your tenants are essentially helping you pay down your mortgage while you build equity. Over time, the property becomes fully yours, generating consistent income with minimal effort. This passive income has allowed millions of people to step away from jobs they did not enjoy, retire earlier than expected, or create financial security that lasts beyond their lifetime. Every beginner must also understand the importance of evaluating deals. Properties are not equal, and emotions must be removed from the decision-making process. A good deal is not defined by how much you like the property. It is defined by the numbers. Experienced investors use formulas, projections, and cash flow analysis to determine whether a property is truly profitable. Beginners must learn to ask, what are the expenses? What are the expected rents? What are the maintenance costs? What are the taxes? What is the vacancy rate? What are the risks? Risk management is a critical part of real estate investing. Successful investors analyze potential downsides before celebrating the upside. A wise beginner prepares for unexpected repairs, temporary vacancies, economic shifts, and changes in interest rates. Real estate is not risk-free, but it is far more stable than many other investments when managed with strategy and caution. A beginner must also build a reliable team. Real estate is not a solo sport. It requires relationships with agents, lenders, contractors, inspectors, property managers, and legal advisors. These individuals protect you, guide you, and help you avoid costly mistakes. A strong team turns a beginner into a confident investor capable of scaling and growing steadily. Location remains one of the most powerful principles in real estate. The quality of a location determines rental demand, property value, long-term appreciation, and overall stability. A beginner must learn to evaluate proximity to schools, hospitals, employment centers, transportation hubs, shopping areas, and future developments. A good location supports the investment even during economic downturns. One of the most common mistakes beginners make is waiting for the perfect time to invest. The reality is that real estate markets constantly shift, and no investor can time them perfectly. Wealth is created not by timing the market, but by time in the market. The sooner you start, the more time your asset has to appreciate, grow, and compound. Patience is the foundation of real estate success. While some investments promise fast results, real estate rewards consistency. Over years, rental income grows, mortgage balances decrease, and the property becomes more valuable. What begins as a single purchase evolves into equity, leverage, and long-term prosperity. Real estate also offers significant tax benefits. Governments around the world incentivize property ownership because housing and development stimulate economic growth. These tax advantages can significantly increase an investor's long-term returns. Beginners must learn how depreciation works, how mortgage interest deductions benefit them, and how capital gains tax strategies can legally protect wealth. Many beginners underestimate the power of diversification. Real estate provides multiple avenues: residential properties, commercial properties, land, short-term rentals, multifamily units, real estate investment trusts, and more. A beginner does not need to master all of them. They only need to understand the path best suited to their goals, their risk tolerance, and their capital. Technology is changing real estate as well. Digital platforms help analyze markets, compare properties, estimate rental income, automate management, and streamline transactions. Beginners today have more tools available than any generation in history. With the right mindset and the right tools, even someone with modest resources can make intelligent, data-driven decisions. Real estate is not simply about money. It is about stability, security, and creating something tangible that supports your future and the future of those you care about. It is about building assets that continue working for you long after you finish working for them. It is about designing a financial life that grows quietly, consistently, and reliably. For beginners, the message is clear. You do not need to be extraordinary to succeed in real estate. You only need to begin, to learn, to stay patient, to evaluate carefully, to manage responsibly, and to grow strategically. Real estate is a journey, not a sprint. And every property, every lesson, and every decision brings you closer to financial strength and independence. The most important step is simply starting. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. Real estate rewards those who move with clarity, preparation, and confidence. As you begin your journey, remember that every great real estate investor was once a beginner, curious, cautious, and determined to build something meaningful. With commitment, discipline, and the right strategies, you can create lasting wealth that stands the test of time.